Hey loves, welcome to Human Moments with Chocolettego episode 7. And yes, this is a whole ass cake for episode 7. So yes, I do have a new mic. I was reflecting on this new project of mine, which is Human Moments. I realized that Human Moments is actually a way for me to heal my inner child. Growing up, I've been taught to suppress my feelings, suppress my emotions, to be very, very careful with my words, to the point that I'm so scared to voice out my thoughts. I wasn't completely me growing up, I would say. And ever since I came up with Human Moments, I have felt so good. I've created this safe space for me. It just makes me happy that I'm making you guys happy. So yeah, let's get to the topic for this episode. So the question I want us to ponder on for this episode is, can money really buy happiness? And the answer really depends on what your definition of happiness is. For me, there are two types of happiness: the slice of cake happiness and the whole ass cake happiness. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Chocolate.
Is defining happiness through cake my excuse to buy cake? Maybe. So let's get to the first type of happiness, which is slice of cake happiness. Slice of cake happiness for me is the short-term happiness. I had a bad day at work, but I know I did my best. Let me treat myself to a slice of yummy cake. I just received my salary and I know I worked my ass off for a whole month to get this money. Let me buy that perfume that I've always wanted. Slice of cake happiness is the treat myself to a simple or grand something because I deserve it. It's a reward system, so I keep doing my best at work. It's a pat at the back after a long day of adulting. So I had a long day of adulting, and before coming home, I bought myself a slice of yummy cake. Is this gonna make me happy? Absolutely. But is it gonna make me happy for the rest of my life? It depends on the impact of this cake on it depends on the situation. So let's say you got fired at work, knock on wood. After packing your stuff at the workplace and leaving the workplace, you decide, you know what, I did my best at work, but still I got fired. Let me buy myself a slice of yummy cake. And let's say you get to your next job and it's your dream job. 5 years later or 10 years later, you're gonna think about that moment that you bought yourself that slice of yummy.
Stop it. Get some help.
Yummy cake. I should stop doing that. 5 years later or 10 years later, you're working at your dream job. You're gonna think of that moment, and that's gonna make you happy because yeah, it was a shitty situation, but still, you have the option to sulk in the sadness, or you have the option to kind of turn it around by sprinkling some sunshine on that rainy day. One of the things that my best friend Stan has taught me is to always live in the moment and to make every day count. Long day at work, it was a shitty day, but yeah, I'm gonna buy myself a slice of cake because I refuse to end this day on a bad note. That's actually a way of living in the moment and making every day count, right? Honestly, it's really up to you. You have the option to turn this day around. You also have the option to not do anything about it, right? To let the day completely ruin you. Yummy!
That is right here, rambutan, no? Yeah.
I think it's like
It looks like lychee. But rambutan also looks like lychee. I'm gonna try.
Okay. So good.
Wait a damn minute.
Wait a damn minute.
Hold on. Why didn't you tell me about this earlier? I'm mad at you guys now. This wasn't fair. This is so good. Oh no, I just turned it.
And now, let's get to the whole ass cake happiness. Whole ass cake happiness is the heavier type of happiness because it consists of all the important things in my life. And I'd like to segregate these important things into slices: career, relationships, time, purpose, security, self-esteem, basic needs, principles and values. All of these are interconnected. Without one slice, it's not a whole ass cake anymore. Duh. Okay, let's start with the basic needs. I need to nurture my body in order for me to function every day. And basic needs includes food, water, clothing. Without these basic needs, I can't function for work, which is career. Without one of these or all of these basic needs, I don't have self-esteem. If you're hungry, then you're not your best self, and that could also mess up with your self-esteem for the day. And if you don't have self-esteem, that could actually impact your relationships, and that includes the relationship you have with yourself. Now let's get to the slice of relationships. So in this slice, I have all my relationships here, and that includes the relationship that I have with myself. If you don't have a good relationship with yourself to begin with, that's gonna mess up the relationships that you have with other people. If you don't have self-love, if you don't have self-esteem, then how could you give others love if you don't even have love for yourself? Love for others starts with you. Another form of self-love is actually filtering the relationships that you have. If that person sucks out the life out of you, then honey, tigamit. Now let's get to career. I included career in the cake because, of course, we all need careers to survive this economy. I'm not shitting on the unemployed people. I'm not putting pressure on anyone. I included career in my cake because career and purpose are all interconnected. I mean, all of these are interconnected, but these two specifically for me are, I like to interconnect them. It is, oh my God. And I think it's really fun to fulfill your purpose through your career. Now let's get to purpose. Purpose is what keeps you going, okay? Purpose is your ikigai. Ew, Japanese word. But yeah, I actually read that book. It's so good. Basically, ikigai means, if I remember it right, ikigai is that something that keeps you going, that makes you wake up every day and just accomplish the day. We all have different purposes in life, because if we had the same purpose in life, then why should there be a billion of us, you know? We all have different purposes because each and every one of us has a role in this society, in this world. Now let's get to the slice of time, okay? Honey, it is very important to have time for yourself and time for others. Now, what do I have in this slice? I have time for myself, time for my relationships, time for my career, time to fulfill my purpose, time for the little things. Let's divide this slice with the micro time and the macro time. So in the micro time, we have the 24 hours that we have in a day. And in the macro time, we have the years that we have in our lives. So let's just say, it is written that you're gonna live up to 70 years old. No, let's make it shorter, okay? Para na pressure ba? Let's say you're gonna live until 45. How are you gonna divide your 24 hours in a day in order for you to make the 45 years count? I think if we all know when we are gonna die, then we're gonna make every day count. Honestly, if I knew that I'm gonna live until 45, right here, right now, I would plot my every day until my last day. I would have a big renovation with my daily routine because I want to make every day count. Kamubura na 45 years. I'm not gonna get September 15, 2024 again. I mean, it's still happening right now, but it's gonna be done tomorrow. So I have to make this day count. And I am doing that by making this episode. I am doing that by filming and talking to you guys right now. I will choose to utilize the whole 24 hours, and that also includes sleep. In order for me to be the best version of myself every day, I have to get enough sleep. Now let's go to security. There's a lot of types of security. We have security at home. We have security in our relationships. We have, for me, it is so important to have a safe home. That includes security from thieves and also security inside. You are living with people that are safe, people that won't hurt you. And that's very, very, very important in order for us to have a quality life. Okay. And next security is security that we have in our relationships. And again, that includes the relationship that we have with ourselves. Now let's get to the last slice of cake, which is principles and values. For me, if you don't have principles and values, you are not human, my dear. All of us need principles and values, because this guides our behavior, this guides our actions, our decisions, our everyday life. If you value love, if you value time, then that's also going to influence your priorities, your actions, your behavior, your mindset. If you value time, then you plan your days ahead. The principles and values that I have are choose kindness, always, forgive but never forget. And for me, this is not necessarily a negative thing. For me, I do not forget. For me to always remember to not trust this person ever again, to prevent further damage in the future. So before I end this video, let's do a recap. I'd like to divide my cake into 8 slices. There are 2 types of happiness. We have the whole ass cake happiness and slice of cake happiness. Slice of cake happiness is the short-term happiness. Whole ass cake happiness is the happiness in your life in general, and it consists of the important things in your life. Now let's get back to the question before I end this episode. Can money really buy happiness? If we're talking about the whole ass cake happiness, then I'm sorry babes, it cannot. If you're gonna say, but Nick, you mentioned basic needs and that includes food, water, clothing, and you need money to buy those. Yes, but I'm talking about the whole ass cake here. Let's say we remove one of the slices here. Let's say I'm gonna remove relationships. Can money replace that loss? It cannot. So if someone asks you, can money buy happiness? Tell them, what type of happiness are we talking about? La char. I would love to hear your thoughts on this episode. I would also like to know what's your go-to cake flavor and the slices that you have in your whole ass cake happiness. So I'll see you guys on episode 8. Bye! Mwah.